I'm really excited for this conversation. She has covered the Red Wings for the Detroit News from 1986 to 1998. Now, Cynthia Lambert has written a new book about her experiences. It is called Power Play, My Life Inside the Detroit Red Wings Locker Room. Cynthia, thanks so much for coming.
Oh, thank
you. This book is fascinating, and it kind of talks about your journey as a beat writer, as a woman in this industry. And you turn on the TV now and you see so many women covering sports. It was not always like that, and you had to go through some hoops, so to speak.
Some hoops, some growing pains. When I was growing up, Ann Doyle was on television, and that was the person that I looked to say, oh, see, I can do that. And I grew up a sports fanatic. I played sports from the time I was 7 through high school and then college. And it seemed like a natural progression. I loved being the informer. I loved to tell people news. So being a sports journalist just seemed to make sense to me. And whenever people would say, yeah, but no one does it, and are you crazy? You need a fallback career. And I just kept going headstrong. I can do it, I can do it. And what was surprising to me is there were very few barriers.
Yeah, one of the things in this book, too, is you really point out, the challenges of being a beat writer for a team. Everybody thinks it's sunshine and rainbows, yes, and you get to go to the games. And granted, we're not digging ditches out there, but still, there are challenging parts of this job. And, in one part of this book, you talk about how, you had a conflict. Your cousin's wedding is in Hawaii, but the Red Wings are still playing, and there's a conflict there, yes, an internal conflict.
And I really couldn't talk to many people about it, and you're familiar with this phenomena. But I even spoke with my mother, and I was like, oh, if the Wings lose to St. Louis, then I can go to the wedding. And she got so mad that why would you be so selfish and want the Wings to lose? I mean, come on, is it just about you? And look at all the fans in Detroit, and they want them to win. And I thought, I'll keep it to myself.
And then you wake up in a different city, you don't know where you are, and you were home.
I was home. I wake up and I'm looking around. I'm thinking, all right, this was in the earlier days. It must be a Norris Division team because I have a good feeling about it, and it looks really familiar. And then the fog started to clear, and I realized I was at home. And I picked up the phone and called my boss, and I said, I need a day off.
Cynthia, you cover this team in perhaps the most unbelievable stretch in the last 60 years of this franchise, from
yes,
trying to compete for that Stanley Cup to ultimately winning that Stanley Cup. What was that journey like of that decade plus?
Oh, it was really phenomenal. It really was. To take the team from really the worst in the league and follow them and see their growth and see the changes, the coaching changes from Jacques Demers, Brian Murray, to Scotty Bowman, and to see the evolution of players like Steve Yzerman and Bob Probert and Joe Kocur and Darren McCarty and just all of them, to be able to cover the Russian Five, to be able to cover the fight with Darren McCarty and Claude Lemieux, to see that retribution, to write tales of the tape before we knew there were going to be fights in the game between Probert and Domi or whoever. It was really exciting, but toward the end, it got very tiring.
Can I ask you? I'm going to give you. I'm going to say a name. First thing that comes to your mind: Steve Yzerman.
Leader.
Sergei Fedorov.
Finesse.
Bob Probert.
Tough.
Great stuff.
Tough but wonderful person.
This book has it all in there, and again, a great gift idea for anybody who is a hockey lover in your family. And even if you're not a hockey lover, I mean, just some of the journey of an individual going through and being a beat writer for the team, a woman nonetheless.
And it is a good story for women.
Yeah.
If you have a teenage daughter or a young woman who is in your life who maybe wants to pursue something that's a little different,
whatever they're passionate about,
it might be a good book for them as well.
Great stuff. Cynthia Lambert, so good to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in this morning. Get the book. It is Power Play, My Life Inside the Red Wings Locker Room. Lee Thomas.